Well, I got another video review for you. As you can see here on my desk, I've started running out of room. So a while back, I got a gaming computer, uninterrupted power supply, so in case my power goes out. And I put it up here on top, and it just took away a lot of my desk space. And as you can see, I've got my pens and my phone charger and little things here and there. And so today, the video is going to be about something I normally don't do a lot of reviews on. It's going to be on, an Amazon product that I probably would never review. But I seen it and I thought, you know what, that might be a good product, and you guys at home might be experiencing the same kind of thing that I am and need a little bit more room on your desk and want to put your tower or your UPS off on like a little stand for your computer. And so I was on Amazon, and I'm just like you guys. I was going through and trying to figure out, the perfect size, and then I was going through and reading the reviews to see if it's junk and this, that, and the other. And for me, I didn't want one that was wood, because, whenever you get one that's wood, sometimes they're okay, sometimes they're not. But usually if you put something wet on it, like a cup, it's going to leave a ring and it's going to deteriorate. Or if you tighten the screws up, you're going to bust the wood. So I thought, well, let's go with something metal. Plus, with wood, if you got a tower setting up against the wood, it's not going to be able to breathe. Well, with this metal stand, it's like a mesh, so it's got holes in the top part and the bottom, and even on the side, and it's pretty open. So I thought, well, my electronics will be able to breathe real good and not get hot. So we're going to be working and putting this Moricher computer tower stand together. This one is adjustable height. Got 4.7 stars out of 76 reviews. So we're going to go ahead and do an unboxing, and just be careful when you open it. It's made out of metal, so obviously it can scratch the paint. First things first, you can see that they did a good job wrapping it up. Next thing that I noticed is it's got some weight to it. I knew it was pretty heavy when I picked the box up, and even the little bars here seem like they're pretty well made, and everything's individually wrapped. I mean, no wonder it got good stars. I mean, if I had to rate it on just the packaging, they did a really good job. Yeah, it's going to take me a few minutes to pull everything out of here. But I'm going to go ahead and get everything pulled out, get all the plastic off of it, and then I'm going to start assembling it. Now, I will show you there's quite a few pieces here in the bottom. All right, so I went ahead and got everything pulled out of the plastic, and the first thing that I want to mention is there was no scratches. That's unusual. Usually when you get something, that's made out of metal, they'll wrap it, but you usually find something that was scratched. Well, I didn't find a thing. And then you've got the manual here. And if you look right here on the front, there's a QR code. You can scan it with your phone, and it brings video up to a little Chinese guy doing some assembly with some horrible piano music. So you'll probably want to watch my assembly over his. And I'm going to make it very easy for you. There'll be like 4 pieces of square tubing and 4 pieces of round tubing. And you're going to want to screw them together. Screw the 2 pieces of pipe together. And so it just takes a second. I'm a welder. And so I've been welding for years, and I'm very familiar with the metal and all that kind of stuff, and thicknesses. And all of it was nice and thick gauge steel. I've gotten some metal stuff that you put together, and it just be so flimsy. But I gotta say, the thickness of the metal on this product is really good. So shouldn't have any problems with it. All right, so next you're gonna wanna join these 2 pieces of tubing together. One's gonna slide into the other. But I just wanted to show you real quick just how well it's built. You can see that they've got welded gussets here in the corners. You can see that the way that these join together is very easy. Holes on the outside of the metal where like you would put your fastener in, they want to go on the outside, and you want to join it, the 2 pieces together where they have the big holes on the inside. See, there's a big hole there, and then this one has a big hole here and a big hole at the bottom. You just want to put them together just like this. And this is the part right here, this one here, you can tell that's going to be the bottom, because that's where your casters screw in. So it's going to set just like this, and you're going to be able to adjust the height just like this, up and down. And so you're going to put them together like that. So next you want to take and put your ends spaced apart, and you'll notice that this one has the round hole at the top, round hole at the bottom, round top, round bottom. And you're going to take these round tubes, slide them in to the holes just like that. All right, so you guys seen me screw in the tubing here on the bottom onto the one side, and that's the round tubing. And then here for the square tubing, I went ahead and I've got it screwed in. The one thing that I wanted to make mention is right here on the tubing, there's a little screw hole just on the side there, and you want it to make sure that when you put it together like this, that hole is on the bottom, and that'll be very important here in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and make sure this one's on the bottom, and you're not going to assemble this other side on there just yet, because the way that this thing mounts together is these top pieces like this here, that there is a square hole, and that square hole is going to slide that square tubing through it just like this right here. So you want to slide this top piece on, and this is going to want to pull out, so you might want to take it and set it up like this. It might be a little bit easier for you, and that way I can show you guys that this tubing is coming up through the bottom. But you can see, there we go. So I got that piece on there, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the other piece on there just like that. It's going to slide right down across the top. And so now, once you get the top part on, then you can start on the bottom pieces, and it's very easy to know which one goes where, because those are squares and these are circles for the round tube. And I guess they did that for dummies so you wouldn't install it wrong. Just like that, just like that. Now you can put on the other piece right here. If it's in question, which is the top or the bottom, always remember that right in here it's threaded, and that's for your casters, so you know that's the bottom. And so this top piece is going to slide on just like this right here. And then here on the top, I don't know how well you guys can see it, but you've got to put the screws in. You got your long screws, and they just screw in, one on each corner, and it screws right into the square tubing and to the round tubing, and it pulls the two pieces of the shelf together to make it all nice and tight. Now, I'm not gonna tighten it all the way down. The next part is pretty crucial. You want to make sure that you don't lose tiny little screws here, and these fit right here on the bottom. And this is where I told you guys to make sure that the hole faces the bottom. And the reason you want it to face the bottom is because these little screws right here. Now, they're tiny, they'll fall out of your hand, so just be careful with them when you're threading them in, and also don't tighten them too tight, and because it is just a small screw and you don't want to strip it out. Tightens up just like that, and that way this piece of tubing can't spool apart. And then there is another one here in the front. We just tightened this one up here in the back. You want to, like I said, you want to double check, make sure that when you slide these pieces of tube together that the hole is on the bottom, so this screw will fit. And I know everything still sounds loose, and that's because I've not tightened everything up just yet, but you can see these are both tight. All right, so we got both ends on, and the bottom and the top on, and next we're going to just pick it up and we're going to lay this forward so we can install the back bracing. And the way that these go together is they kind of interlock. You can see that little tab on the top here, it interlocks on the back and it joins together just like that. And then you put screws in the middle, and then you adjoin it on the back. It looks like it's going to be pretty solid, so I'm excited about it just because it looks like it's good quality instead of just cheap Chinese junk. You know, that's just the simple way to put it. As far as the hardware goes, I'm pretty impressed with that because they did give me extra hardware in each sizes of the bolt. There was one extra bolt. So I'm going to go ahead and bolt this together, and I'll show you how to attach this to the back. All right, now I said the back piece here interlocks in the middle, and then you put screws here, and then you put screws on each end to join it all together. One thing that I wanted to make mention of is whenever you use the screws, you got to use the right ones. These here in the middle are a rounded head screw, or the ones here on the sides is a flat screw. And then you'll want to go ahead and tighten it down. It uses just a Phillips head screwdriver. And next, we're going to install the casters here on the bottom. And you can see that that's reinforced threads right in there. And I just wanted to show you here on the casters that these are all four lockable. And the locking feature on it does work. And it works really good. You can see right there, you can't turn them. And then when you lift that back up, they're easily turned. Now the way that you're going to install these is very simple. You just thread them in, and best thing you can do, just start them with your fingers. Try to avoid the wrench as much as possible, because those little bitty steel wrenches like that are so thin they hurt my fingers. And only use the wrench to tighten them up at the very end, like I'm almost to right now. So you can see right there, it does work, and it's nice to have. You ain't got no tools. You do the same thing on all four corners. All right, so now we're almost done, guys. So what you want to do is go ahead and start tightening up the screws from the bottom on each side. And then once you do those, then go ahead and tighten the screws here on the top. And then pretty much in home stretch, then after you tighten them up, you want to go through here, and you've got these little wing nut type screws. And what these are for is to lock it into place, because this table here is adjustable height. You're going to screw those in right in there. All right, so I've gotten everything tightened down, and I got to say this thing is really strong, and I'm very impressed with the strength of this. Now I'm going to turn it around and show you guys the adjustable height feature. And I went ahead and got these screws just hanging out right there. They're not very tight, but I wanted to say, you know, if you want to adjust the height of this, you just take and lift up, and you can see the numbers 24, 6, 28. You know, it's got the measurements on there for the height, and that way you can kind of keep it level. And when you get it to where you want it, then you tighten these down. All right, so next you got the mat. Now this here is like a carbon fiber looking mat, and it's going to be curled up for probably days, maybe even a week, till it gets laid down flat. I gotta say, it's a really nice looking mat. If you like that carbon fiber look, I don't know that I'm going to use it, truthfully, just simply because I like the look of the metal, and I just think it looks good. So me personally, probably not going to use the mat, and you don't have to use it if you don't want to. But I might use it on my desk or give it away to somebody and they could use it on their desk. But the carbon fiber, for me, is a no-go. I like the look of the metal, and I think it looks good as it is. All right, so you can see that I've got it pushed back into the place that I'm going to be using it. Now, I've got it raised all the way up, and you can see that I don't need it that high because it's just too high. And plus, the top edge of my desk sticks out further than right here, so there's a gap, and I don't like that, the way my desk is set up. So I'm going to lower it down and be level with this shelf right here on the desk, and I'm just going to move everything over. So the top here can hold 100 pounds, and the bottom shelf, it says it can hold 120 pounds, and yeah, I believe you could probably do it. So I just wanted to tell you I said it was adjustable height, and so you can go from 21.6 inches all the way up to 34.3 inches. So that's a big amount of adjustment there. You know, like I said, I'm gonna lower mine down to where it's level with this shelf here, and should be able to be somewhere about right in there. All right, guys, so you can see I've got a lot more room up on my desk now that I've got everything over here on this little stand. And I gotta say, I think it looks really good, and you know, it's not going anywhere. I don't hesitate to put my stuff up there. It's not wobbly. It doesn't, you know, feel rickety or anything. And I just like how I was able to adjust that to where, you know, it, you know, kind of matches the height of that shelf all the way across. And I think it looks pretty good. Everything seems to work good and look good, and so I'm happy with it. I will put the link to this product down in the video description if you're interested in it. I am an Amazon affiliate. I don't try to hide that from anybody, and just because I'm an Amazon affiliate don't mean that I don't, you know, tell it like it is. I'll let you know if I see something wrong, or if something's scratched, or it's not packaged right. If you guys have watched my videos, I don't hold back. You know, I let them know if something's good or bad. And this was a very good product. Anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. I know this is not my usual type of video, but I wanted to move everything over, and so I wanted to, show you guys my experience, and probably some of you is going through the same thing and need a little extra desk space. So thanks for watching. Till next time. See ya.